Sorry, Andy.
I think somebody else in New York.
Oh.
Is everybody in New York?
No, I'm in LA.
LA. Mm-hmm. Well, you're like on major lockdown.
Yeah, it keeps changing, but I mean, I'm also, OCD running overdrive, so nothing that government's telling.
Oh, Haley, look, we're live. This is great. We're live. Here we are. What's up? This is Comedy Cellar Nightly. This is the only YouTube show where you're going to see four white comedians discuss today's topical events. And that's just how it worked out tonight. We have a beautiful roster, a wonderful roster. Matt Kirshen is here from LA, all the way from LA.
Hey.
It is what, 4 o'clock there?
It's 5:30.
5:30? That is the time zones. Andy Haynes is here. Andy, you're in Brooklyn?
No, I'm in Manhattan.
Manhattan, excuse me.
Yeah, sorry.
And Michael Somerville looks like you're in Las Vegas in the background there.
It actually does look like that. I'm actually in Manhattan. I'm in the Andy's other room.
Yeah.
No, I'm here in New York.
We're roommates.
That's great, man. Well, what's up? I'm Ryan Beck. I'm the host tonight. And you know what that means, folks. We're going to kick off with a hot topic today. Parking tickets. Why did I get 3 of them this morning?
Are you serious?
3?
Yeah, I am. 3 at one time.
What borough?
Brooklyn.
How many cars?
I screwed up. I didn't read the sign. One of them is definitely my fault because I didn't read the sign. My wife and I went to a drive-in movie last night, which was a great experience. That was a great experience. But then, it was really late at night, and I just needed to park the car. I parked the car on the street, and the sign said, usually everything else in my neighborhood's 8:30, you got to move it. And I went out to move it today, and I was an hour and a half late. And so I got a $115 ticket.
What?
And then, yes, this is a new experience for me because I haven't had a car before, which is why I got the other 2 tickets because I don't have front plates on the car yet. I got that done today. And I didn't have the inspection done because I just got the registration thing. So I think I can fight that because it's not within the, there's a grace period or whatever. But it was preposterous how much this stuff costs. It was like 200. It's good if I lose, it's over $250.
And all 3 tickets were just sitting there on the car at the same time?
Yeah, it looked like one of those CVS receipts. It was really, they were all stuck together. There was just
any of them a coupon?
It's bad. It was bad.
That's brutal. And if I'm not mistaken, on your social media, I just saw that you are the voiceover of an in-cab.
No, I wrote it. I wrote an in-cab PSA to keep your masks on and not be an idiot that Whoopi Goldberg read.
But see, so it's you're doing God's work for the city, and this is how they reward you.
I know the city screwed me, man. It was very cool. I obviously did not meet Whoopi Goldberg, but I wrote a stupid joke, and then she said it, and I was like, well, what do you know? 2020,
well, bring that up in court with these tickets. Bring a copy of that.
I know I should.
Yeah, you're an essential worker.
Yeah.
Come to go to court with a construction board kind of presentation you've made about De Blasio. That always helps.
Just look insane.
You know what's weird? I have a theory or a weird conspiracy theory, which is that I don't know what my theory is, but I've noticed that my friends are getting parking tickets in Brooklyn, and we've been parking very recklessly in Manhattan and literally for days in alternate side parking, no tickets. And I think it's because the cops are turning on the outer boroughs. That's what I think it is. They're mad at you guys for protesting their murder, and they've taken it out on you by extra parking tickets.
Well, let me ask you this, Andy. What was the fireworks situation like in Manhattan? Michael, you might know.
Yeah.
They're illegal, so we don't have them.
We had the illegal ones were nicer than the actual show.
Yeah.
Oh, I live in on the edge of Silver Lake and East Hollywood, so I have I guess it picks up the rate a bit towards the 4th of July, but it's still just
year round.
It's year round. Is that what you said?
Sorry, guys, my dog's really ruining the show.
Man, you cut out though.
I thought I just froze for a second. I was just saying I'm East Hollywood, and every night it's just fireworks. I think most of the fireworks in the country are rooted towards that part of Hollywood.
They had that great around July 4th. They showed like a helicopter pan of like most of LA. I don't know if you guys saw that in the news, and it was just like it was like everywhere there was fireworks. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, I can just look out of my window and see just it's like the end of Disney World every night. It's just straight parade, shut down.
And they're not cheap. I remember being a teenager and buying fireworks, and I was like, they weren't cheap then. I can't imagine where is everyone getting this money from?
Andy, you're muted. But to Andy's point, the conspiracy theory point, there were people driving in out of state and selling all these fireworks to kids in Brooklyn, and our neighborhood was just insane. It was like 24 hours a day. It sounded like real bombs were going off. It was wild.
Jeez. Yeah.
Am I still muted?
No,
Not
we can
anymore.
hear you.
Okay.
But we'll tell you when to go back on. I don't know where
Sorry,
they're getting all
guys.
the money from. That's what I don't understand. Kids,
Yeah.
teenagers with firecracker. How old am I? Dating myself? Not firecracker money.
It's all George Soros. George
Gotta
Soros
be.
he's giving the TikTok teens money for fireworks. The new QAnon conspiracies. George Soros is trying to disrupt the fireworks market to bring down American patriotism. It's awful. You must understand what it's like, Matt, having come from England, where
Yeah,
he's
it's
decimated.
it's weird coming from a European country where the government just provides us all with fireworks,
Yeah.
and you know if you don't need to worry about where your next firework is coming from. Whereas,
Are fireworks legal in the UK? I feel like
Yeah,
they wouldn't be able to get them.
no, they're legal. Although I'm not sure what the rules are exactly, but they are in Britain. They are mostly centered around the 5th of November, which is Guy Fawkes Night, where Bonfire Night has various names, but essentially to commemorate a failed terrorist attack hundreds of years ago by sort of Catholic insurgents who wanted to blow up the Houses of Parliament. And because they failed, and then the plotters were horribly slaughtered by the police and by the law, we now commemorate that by getting a fireworks display in every town center and having kids make a guy, like they make an effigy of Guy Fawkes, who, by the way, wasn't even the lead plotter. He was just like the guy who got caught. He was just like the fall guy for it.
Yeah, he also had like a good effigy face, though.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
He's
He
iconic.
Looks,
yeah, exactly. He was trying to bring down the Scientologists, and then he was trying to bring that. You know, he's still floating around bringing down everyone. But kids will make an effigy of Guy Fawkes and or any celebrity, and then it gets burnt like on a big fire in the town center. And then there's a fireworks display, and the parents get drunk, and the kids run around with sparklers and small fireworks. And
It's weird how you guys are basically still pagans.
Oh, yeah.
I like how I mean, obviously not you, Matt, because you are Jewish and you've chosen God's laws, but your countrymen,
Yeah, it's odd how many things you come to another country and you just realize things you took for granted is just like, yeah, it's just a tradition. It's just a festival that of course there's a town that has a very steep hill. So what they do with that hill is once a year roll a giant cheese down it, and people chase that cheese and horribly injure themselves in the process.
Yeah, that sounds like Wisconsin here.
Right.
It sounds awesome.
It's exactly, yeah. There's a festival where there's a massive hill and they roll this huge wheel of cheese down it and it just bounces down and people just throw themselves down this hill. There's always like dislocated arms, broken bones.
Yeah, it's a very steep, long hill and people
like
are like
absurdly
sprinting
steep.
down it.
Yeah, it would be like
it's
if
not
it had
even-
snow on it, it would be like the on a double diamond run.
Wow.
Is there a story behind that one?
No idea. other than just someone once had a big cheese that went down the hill and someone chased it, and that was enough for that to be like, it's a tradition now. This is what we do. This is what our town is known for.
It was probably like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just thinking about an effigy. It like takes such craftsmanship to make a fake man that you're going to burn, and then you just burn it. You know, I feel like I don't know. Maybe I get too wrapped up in my crafts, but I would like make the guy, and I would like, I don't want to burn him. I just works really hard on this guy.
I think that's just the nature. You know, that's the nature of art. You just have to learn when to let go. You know, you have to.
Trying so hard.
We're all in the arts. You know, you're right.
I think you froze.
Put it on an album. It's got to go. It's gone now. Oh,
yeah,
am I
burning
still back
material.
again?
No,
yeah,
I figured out what you're saying through context clues.
Well, that's the whole premise of Burning Man, right? Don't they spend all this time like building that guy and then just
absolutely, yeah. These huge pieces of art that they just set fire to at the end of the week.
Well, I don't want to, I want to pump your brakes here, Michael. I think the whole premise of Burning Man is to do drugs in the desert, but yeah, I think there is an effigy in part involved in that for sure.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Under the cover of
There was a rich guy in San Francisco in the 80s, and he really wanted to do drugs in the desert. So he went and did drugs, and then he told a bunch of other people about how cool it was, and that's what they're celebrating. Is that one time one guy?
And Matt, to make it make sense more to you, like they also did not burn down Parliament that night.
Yes, nor roll cheese anywhere.
Yeah, so
exactly.
They're celebrating the not blowing up of a building as well.
I dated a girl who went to every year to Burning Man and then invited me, and we didn't last, but then she described it like, yeah, I guess once in a lifetime you got to go right and do the thing. And then she was like, you got your dust mask and your breathing thing, and if there's a windstorm, this, and I was like, never mind. It sounds like not fun, and there was no hotel rooms, and I was like, I'm good.
I remember when I was single and I would use dating apps, every time I saw that a girl had like a Burning Man photo where she was in like, she was dressed like a steampunk like fighter pilot, I would be like, all right, well, this is clearly not going to work.
Not for me. I was just looking for material.
I have been to Burning Man, and I brought my big cheese, and I brought my platform, and
you'd be a big hit, I think, at the Burning Man.
Turns out
the big cheese.
Black Rock City out there is a little too warm for any kind of dairy products.
You set up a British pub tent, right?
I did not, but someone has. There is a British pub tent at Burning Man.
Very cool.
I had no
barter system. You got to barter. Everything's bartering.
It's
man.
not even
like
bartering.
The new economy.
It's not even bartering. It's gifting. You're meant to give with no expectation of receiving in return.
Weird.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't go.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. I guess everyone's, whatever. It's not worth that. I was going to say a sex joke. Everyone's giving each other diseases, but I was like, that's not very clever. So, but I wanted, this made me think of this bartering thing, made me think of what my wife has been doing, where she's on this Facebook group where they don't buy anything. They like, everybody just like says, hey, I have this. If anybody wants this, you can come and get it. And it's like this whole shadow economy, I guess. I don't know if anybody is in on
that. It makes it sound so much more. Groups. That's so much more nefarious than what it probably is, which is like a Nespresso machine they're not using.
Yeah, it's exactly that. We just listed a turkey leg shaped pillow that someone had given us. So there's a turkey leg shaped pillow that it was a huge hit. It was like 50 something likes.
Yeah. And you just gave that away?
Well, not yet. There's a bidding war. Everyone's putting in for the raffle.
What are you looking for in return for your turkey?
Nothing. They just have to come get it because we don't want it in our house. That's pretty much the idea.
Oh wow! So someone's doing well.
You don't get something back.
No, you don't get anything back. It's like a free group, and we've gotten some cool stuff that nobody wanted. Somebody gave away a guitar. I didn't get the guitar, but somebody was giving away like a brand new Stratocaster. Like,
and what happens if more than one person wants something?
They have all these rules. It's very interesting, but they do like a raffle. You do like put names in a bucket and draw it out or something.
Wow.
But it's all honor system, you know?
I used to do this thing around New York where, like, when I was moving and people would be throwing away perfectly good furniture, or if I came upon perfectly good furniture, I would like fix it up and sell it for a lot of money. And literally, I mean, the amount of times that I could have picked up. So I have an Eames recliner that I took off the street in New York. Do you guys know what that is? It's like a $5,000 modern. People are just, if you guys want to get into the trash turnover business, it's lucrative. Forget show business.
I believe it.
Be a junk guy.
I believe it because when last time I moved, I did the same thing. I had a large, heavy piece I wanted just to get rid of, and I tried to go to like Craigslist, be like, someone just come and take it. It's free. It's worth something. And it turns out there's scores of people like that, especially on the Upper West Side. Like, you can have this if you can get to 6 floors and carry it down and put it in the truck. It's yours. And I always thought, man, you could really open a business.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen so many nice pieces of furniture, like perfectly good. Today I saw like a 50-inch TV, perfectly, like a working 50-inch TV just sitting on the curb.
I need that because my TV broke.
All right, well, it's at Bogart and Siegel in Bushwick.
You were in Brooklyn.
I was. I went out there to visit, to see the.
Check out the parking scene.
Yeah.
To check out the parking scene. I was investigating like Ed Norton in Motherless Brooklyn. I was walking around stammering, trying to get to the bottom of this conspiracy.
Speaking of Ryan, I mean, you said you never had a car. Now you have one. You got 3 tickets in a day. Do you think it's a sign?
No, the car thing's worked out great so far. I got to do I was inside doing comedy in Rochester, New York for one night before the state came in and shut down the club. But I got to do one show, and even though I had to drive 6 hours or whatever it is to go do it, doing comedy into a microphone was the sweetest feeling that I've had in maybe my entire life. This was incredible. It was a real comedy club.
I was meant to do one outdoor show and then it got canceled. It fell through. I just got myself all geared up. I've got my own microphone now for when I get to finally do a gig inside.
Nice.
We did an outdoor show the other night on Saturday night. It was like a makeup show for a show that had been rained out. And the park that they do it is in the middle of Bed-Stuy. And usually it's empty on Wednesdays. But this night it was like everybody in the neighborhood's birthday, I guess. I mean, it was like carnival. And then all of a sudden, like 2 white alt comics in the middle of Bed-Stuy were like, literally, there was a sign behind them that said like Black Lives Matter, and they were trying to get the stage back to be like, "Hey, can we do a comedy show?"
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah. They were trying to kick kids off the stage.
Yeah, it actually said Black Kids Matter, and they were trying to stop the Black Kids Matter rally. So
wow!
It was like a talent show.
Yeah, it was a talent show. That's Rosebud Baker, you guys.
Hi guys.
Hi Rosebud.
How you guys doing?
Hey.
Good.
Sorry about the tickets.
Isn't she glowing? Do you guys see that?
Yes.
She's taking stem cells. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We ship them in. Yeah, we ship them in from Israel. They're illegal.
I actually take them from Andy, and he's aging so rapidly.
Like a very slow green mile.
Andy, in this pandemic, you've got your hand in a lot of different businesses.
I know. I've always been a real kind of hustler, crafty guy. So I'm out there. I'm working in the illegal medical goods, garbage.
Turning
all
over
of
furniture.
It's great.
How are you? What phase are you guys in now, Matt?
Oh, I don't. Are we working in phases? I don't know. Like
LA's
LA's just a disaster phase. It's getting re-locked down again.
Completely like stay at home.
To be honest, I don't know. I've kind of lost track of it, and also like my OCD's like through the roof. So whatever the general city is doing, I know I'm already 2 notches above that anyway. So like you don't need to tell me to do stuff because I'm already there.
Yeah.
I'm already beyond there. I'm already like trying to work on not being there.
Or do you go out? You go get groceries? You do like exercise outside?
I'll go out for walks, but we're not like going. I've not set foot inside a supermarket in 3 months. We're doing deliveries and we're doing curbside pickup.
Wow.
So yeah,
It's
I've not
crazy
been.
because in New York we beat it. It's we're back to normal. The Cellar's actually open, so it's weird that we're doing this still.
We just haven't told certain people.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a cool kids club.
Yeah. So
Would you do like a kind of hybrid indoor and Zoom show when things start to reopen? Like, do you think that'll be a thing? Do you think people will start like doing the shows at the Cellar or whatever, but also selling tickets to watch it online?
I think it's happening.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of shows, maybe not in New York, but where it was like in a studio where there was like a small audience and then it was being Zoomed.
I tried to do this a few years ago when there wasn't a pandemic, and everyone told me that it was a bad idea to put this comedy online because no one would watch it or the comics wouldn't like it or whatever. Yeah. And I was poo-pooed for this idea.
Well, every one of our standards for what is acceptable in comedy audience behavior has turned on its head. Like,
that's true.
I used to be like, no one's filming my set, and I'm like, everything on film, everything filmed, everything on the internet.
Yeah. It's crazy how ahead of his time Drew Michael was. I mean, God.
Right.
Doing comedy to no audience, yeah. On his HBO special.
Empty.
He was prepared years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I want comedy in a field. I want it in a venue with a 30-foot ceiling and fans blasting through it.
Well, it sucks that you guys are locked down because you guys have so much open space there.
I know, that's the one thing. Like, I think when things do start to open up a bit, we're going to have outdoor comedy weather in November, December, when you guys are in the snow.
Yeah. We'll all probably move there by then. The Great Migration.
Well, I'm ready to do anything. I just want to get back to, I don't know. I think I got to like sell my kidneys or something. I got to figure something out. I need like a money. Money would be great. What'd you say?
Rosebud said Ryan's just having a breakdown.
I was at the beginning of a breakdown, so I'm glad that somebody else spoke. It was Ryan, just gonna keep flowing.
Now, Ryan, I can't say this without coming across like I just stalk you on social media all day, but didn't you also just paint a room?
Yes, I'm in the room that I just painted. It's white. The walls are white. The reason we painted, everyone keeps asking me, why did you paint? Because it seems insane to paint a room. And I guess it's also a thing that people do, like when you get your wife pregnant. My wife is not pregnant. We painted the room because it was this horrible pink color that had like one coat of pink on it that an old roommate did. And it was just depressing and gross to come in this room. And so we just had to get rid of it.
You should paint a pink room white when you have an abortion. That's when you do that.
Sounds like a REM lyric or something.
Like a horrible reveal party.
No, baby. A plane flies over and it's just steam.
Yeah.
Well, that pink must have been pretty horrible because that white is making me sad.
No, it's nice. It's nice. It like reflects the sunlight. It's very nice, Michael.
Okay.
You'll never see it, but
I'll never get invited.
No one's coming in my house. No one's coming in here.
I think it's your lighting, Michael. Or Ryan. I think it's
mine. I could change it. Hold on. I got these fancy bulbs that have 3 settings. Watch this.
Oh.
Watch this, folks. It's kind of yellowish right now, right?
Yep.
Ah.
Okay. That's brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have one that's like really dark. That's not going to work out very well. 2. Oh, bad.
That's the best one.
This one?
The third one.
This?
Yeah,
this is like sad. I feel like I'm in a horror movie.
It's kind of cool. It's picking up the old pink.
Oh, don't say that.
Is that a globe too?
No, it's the moon.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's a globe. Yeah.
Does it have drinks inside it? Oh no, it's just a globe.
Wow.
The moon. Pretty cool, guys.
Did you get that off the free Facebook site?
No, we've had that forever. I don't know where that's come from. Last time I was hosting this Zoom, I showed off all my knives that I have. So
I was just going to show you guys my knife.
Yeah, show us your knife, Andy.
I don't know where it is. I think Rosebud hid it because I keep on pulling it on her. It's so dramatic about that thing. Anyways.
Also, I like that Michael's question was a genuine one about the painting, but you framed it like you were hosting Comics Unleashed. It was just like, so I understand you painted your house recently.
I'm setting them up for a bit.
So Ryan, I heard you hate the post office.
Yeah, Andy, I got to tell you, the post office is crazy these days. I don't know. Has anybody been to the post office? Anybody? That guy owns the Weather Channel. Did you know that?
Byron Allen is a very rich man.
He is the shrewdest and greatest businessman in the entertainment industry.
You've done Comics Unleashed, right?
Twice.
And
I've done it twice.
I've been on it, yeah.
It's a fun show.
It looks fun.
It's a fun show. Byron's a lovely guy, and he is an entertainment industry genius. Someone told me his first investment was buying the video rights to Delirious and Raw.
I've heard that he does stuff like that. Like he buys a lot of properties out from under people.
Yeah, just before like VHS specials sort of took off, he bought the distribution rights to that. He's like, yeah, he's a comedy fan, and he just went, this is probably worth stuff. He started making his own and distributing his own films as well. Now he was like nominated. Like they have films nominated in the awards last year.
Wow.
He's a mogul now. He's a full-on mogul.
I would love it if they were just all weather-themed movies. Hard, sleet.
It's all cross-promotion. You've got
Well, it's like Twister, but they spin off to every other kind of disaster and weather phenomenon.
Well, he did that, the shark one, right? 47 meters deep or whatever. That was his big one.
Have you guys seen The Vast of Night yet?
No.
What's that?
It's like a 1950s paranormal alien kind of movie, and it's so good. It's on Amazon. You got to watch it.
It's like from the 50s?
No, it takes place in the 50s or 60s.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really, really like well made. It's fucking great.
Michael, I like that you moved your fiance out of the shot. That was very.
She's not in entertainment. She has no business in this frame.
Also, Michael, I just heard that you got engaged.
Yes, thank you very much.
Matt, how was that?
That was very natural.
Good. So, Michael, I heard that you got engaged.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, relationships these days are something, aren't they? What is the deal with women? No, thank you. I did get engaged. It sounds like a joke, but I really was out of ideas. Like we've been here locked together, getting to know each other. I'm like, I think I got to do something. So next level. Any advice, Ryan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you already got through the lockdown part. You're fine, man.
That's what it feels like, right? If I could do this, I could do anything.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Andy,
Here's one thing about getting engaged is that you've done the coolest thing that you can do. There's no more surprise. Andy's engaged now.
Yeah.
I'm also engaged. I was meant to be getting married yeah.
So here's the thing. Once you've already asked that question, you can't, you don't go up now. You're just alive together.
Yeah.
Like that's like a big step up. You're like, oh, we've elevated. Then you get married, and so then you're married, and then there's no next level. You're just okay. Now we just sit in this room. You want to paint it? What do we do with this? So that's that's what's next is the same. Everything's going to be the same for longer.
If we're lucky, if it'll all be this. Okay, that makes sense.
Hopefully we can go outside and stuff, but you get what I mean. There's no you've elevated your relationship, and now there's and that's exciting, right? And then you're just that kind of just it seems to have just flatlined.
But it's only an indoor relationship right now. I mean, who knows? Who knows what it's going to be like when you take it outside?
I
That's
had that
true.
thought. We get along great in isolation. What if we hate each other once this is over? What are they going to be the opposite?
You get
Yeah, I
out,
guess
and she's like, I hate it out here.
We only get along when we're not allowed out.
Matt, were you engaged? Did you get engaged in isolation?
No, we were already engaged, and we were meant to be getting married in September. And yeah, so we've been doing the postponing a wedding during isolation thing.
Where
That's
was it
awful.
going to be?
What's
We
that?
also were meant to get married in September.
It's
Is that right? Well, Andy, you got engaged in lockdown, right?
Yeah.
Did you didn't think it was going to last this long then?
No, we don't want the baby to be born a bastard. So we're just trying to rush it along, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to take that seriously.
I don't have
Rosebud really made me want to clarify that that's not true.
that you don't care the status of the baby.
No, I still don't think it's mine.
It's not.
That's why she hides.
Well, that makes it easier.
Well,
I'm just
I don't
dumb.
have it. I don't
It's
have a
Artie
date.
Fuqua's. That's the worst part.
Artie Fuqua's knife or baby?
Baby.
Oh,
Baby, yeah.
Well, I don't have a date, but I don't think I'll ever say meant to be married.
Where are people thinking about doing their weddings? Where are you guys planning on it?
Well, we were and still intend to be doing it in Colorado because Holly's from just outside Denver, so we were gonna be out there, and then that's still the plan right now.
Did you push it, Matt, or is it happening in September?
No, we pushed it a year.
Oh,
All right.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
How many people were invited?
Well, that's the other thing, because by the nature, wherever we did it, it would have to be an international wedding because my family's in England, and then I've got a sister in Australia, her family's in Colorado, our friends are in LA, and then all over the place, and in the UK, and so we don't even know if people can legally travel into America this September, let alone whether it be
They definitely can't.
Yeah, before you even think, is it ethical to start doing a wedding in September? We don't even know whether we could physically get people in the same location.
Trying to hold
they
a
can
wedding
get here
right
and then
now.
get back.
Was that?
Or if they can get here and then get back, because
exactly. Yeah, we didn't know whether they'd have to then quarantine for 14 days. It was silly. So we were like, we're pushing it.
Trying to hold a wedding right now in America would be like inviting people to your wedding in Baghdad, like in 2004. That's how bad it is here.
And they're just kind of like, no, there's actually safe bits of Baghdad. Like the bits they show on the news. Yeah, they show the
Just
bad
wear a
bits on the
bomb
news.
vest.
There's
That's it.
people are still going about their business. They're going to the supermarket. They're making food. They've got the office jobs.
But Matt, when you finally get to pull it off with those people from all over the world, imagine fireworks display. That's
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get everyone to bring a firework and bring their own effigies from everywhere.
Cheese is rolling. It's gonna be a festival.
Beautiful, beautiful wedding. I'll tell you this, Matt. You mentioned Australia. Too far. I would not leave, even if I were your sister. I wouldn't leave to Australia to come to Colorado to watch you get married.
It is a very long way. People are quite excited about the Colorado thing. We were deciding between LA and Colorado, and everyone's quite into the whole. They were into seeing Colorado. They want to see mountains. They want to see Western stuff. They want the weed tour.
Are you a Colorado guy? I'm assuming you've been there and visited.
I've been there plenty. Yeah, I like it, and the comedy scene around there is great as well.
But I mean, are you hiking? Are you skiing? Have you taken to the things?
I mean, no one's as active as Coloradans are. Coloradans are outdoorsy to an absurd degree.
Yeah.
There's no place in Colorado where it's not acceptable to be wearing sportsy clothes. Everyone has those shoes with the toes.
Oh yeah, those things.
They're called five fingers.
Right.
They creep me out.
I come from an outdoor American family, and a lot of Patagonia, a lot of roof racks.
Are you offended?
You could go to any level of formal event in Patagonia in Colorado and you would be fully accepted.
Yeah, I still can show my certified my certified ski instructor license, and I get free hot chocolate at most ski areas. So it's pretty,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Andy, what if you were to teach me to ski over Zoom, how would that work?
I would tell you probably not to do it. It's such a it's really hard on your body. It's like, it's good to teach a kid how to do it because you're elastic, but as an adult, it's like you're bending tendons in the wrong way. That whole pizza thing, you know what I mean? Like you make the pizza with the skis. French fries pizza.
Oh, you're supposed to.
Yeah, that's how you kind of learn how to stop and go. Once you get to the straight skis, it's a lot easier. But I would say
pizza, is that the technical term?
Yeah.
Pizza, the pizza thing, or is it? Snow
that's
plow?
what you tell children.
Oh, okay.
You say pizza. But I think I did at one time. I did a gig in some ski resort in Denver, and I brought a girlfriend and tried to teach her how to ski, and she was flying down a hill, not looking like she was going to stop, and I was yelling pizza as loud as I could at an adult woman. So that was good.
We went skiing for the first time in this January. I've been before, but my Coloradan fiance had not, because she was a theater kid. So when all her friends were off in the mountain becoming ski instructors, she was playing Zip Zap Zop with other theater dorks and painting sets and putting on a show.
So you had skied more than the
I've skied plenty, yeah, because there's also, out of the UK, there is a mini circuit of gigs in the French Alps in ski resorts out there.
What the fuck?
It's the best. It's run by a guy called Richard, who's the best guy. And there's a little circuit. It's based out of this town called Maribel, which is in the French Alps. And you fly into Geneva, they pick you up, and you do a few shows dotted around. Like you do a show in Chamonix, you do a show in Maribel.
That's awesome.
And then they take you skiing in the day.
What the Matt, Jesus
Andy,
Christ.
you got to get in there.
Half of the UK comedy circuit can ski or snowboard because of these gigs.
That's incredible.
I'm gonna venture to say that I'm the best skier comic. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that. I used to be ranked 37th in the nation. So I want to.
That's crazy.
I want to tell this guy that he needs to have me, or it's rude. And I know that British people hate to be rude. So you could tell Richard, please.
I'm always fascinated by
these gigs.
I kind of assumed that you could ski, but I didn't know you could ski to that level. Like, I just kind of looking at you like, you could probably ski. You look at Mike Coster and go, he can probably play tennis, but you wouldn't know that he could, like, play tennis. Yeah.
It's the only thing that I really did in my adolescence with any kind of commitment was skiing.
So what was your event? You said you were 30, was it 37, 36?
I jumped off cliffs and did like spins and flips and stuff like that.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was never gonna be like a professional skier. Like one time, I think this is when I decided that my career was over, was we were gonna we'd built a jump to jump over a 2-lane highway. And I was like,
with cars?
Yeah, and all these kids were talking about what they were going to do, and I was like listening in, and all I was going to do was go over it. That's all I wanted to do, to go clear it. This was the first time any of us had jumped over it, and they were trying misty flips and back flips and 720s, and I was like, I want to have a future, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of amazing that you got to decide that your career was over, you know, instead of have that decision be made for you.
Yeah, by the nurses.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of those kids died, and I hope they rot in hell because they weren't very nice to me. No, I'm kidding. They are dead, but I don't want them to rot in hell. They don't know what to do. They're like
nice backpedal. Yeah, I have no idea what to do. Are they really dead?
A couple of them, yeah. I mean,
From skiing?
Yeah. Well, one guy.
Wow.
I mean, I wasn't close to these guys, but one guy was doing this thing where he was skiing off like 2,000 or 3,000 foot mountains, and then opening a parachute. and one time his parachute didn't open, which is actually the amount of air that you get 0 chances for air. And, he had that small percentage of air. And then
That's
another
bonkers.
I mean, these guys are jumping off hundreds and hundreds, they're jumping off cliffs and they're landing in areas with rocks and trees and they're flipping and they're, it's just like
I've only ever skied routes where both the beginning and the end has a cafe.
Yeah.
I will ski between 2 different places where you can get food and drink.
And that's where I'm at now. I mean, I really don't give a shit. Sometimes I'll go out and I'll try something. Like a year or 2 ago, I went and I had a gig at Mammoth, and on like my first run, I thought I was like back in it, and I tried to do a front flip like right on my first run, and just ate shit in front of the entire ski lift. And I was like, I'm gonna stick to just hot chocolate. That seems a lot funner,
See, that's again like when I'm not even at a level where I'm good enough to have that crash. Like I can't even get to the point that I could crash like that.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is it's such a this is the problem with skiing, is that it's such a useless skill outside of the ski resort. Like, do you know how lame it was in high school to try to be like a jock that did a sport nobody could watch? Like, I'd be like, I'm pretty good at skiing, but you have to drive 60 miles to see it.
At 7 a.m.
And get on a gondola.
Yeah, being the best skiing comedian in New York City is like, it's like being the best. I can't think of an analogy, but you get it. Something, and somewhere else. You guys.
I was doing some shows in Anchorage a while back, a few years ago, and they had an event, and it was at the end of their ski season, and they have an event that happens every year. It's this big charity event where they ski down a hill or snowboard, and then they hit a ramp and they try and get across a lake.
Yeah, pretty common.
Okay, yeah, and they're in costume and stuff, and I was there as one of hey, it's the guy who's doing the comedy show in town this week.
Yeah.
And they asked me if I wanted to give it a crack, and I don't think I would even be able to make it to the ramp. Like, that's the level I'm at.
It's weird because it's always the same thing. Some guy's gonna he'll wear like a Hawaiian shirt and a hula skirt, and everybody's like, wow, that's great. And then another guy goes naked.
Yep.
And then a chick goes topless, and then everybody just drinks like really hoppy beers, and it's whatever.
I'm glad that I only pretty much exclusively go out on the road with people who like to eat pizza in hotel rooms. That's really about my level there.
It's so much better. I wish I did so much less. I feel like I've wasted so many good nights of doing nothing, trying to be ambitious for adventure.
Yeah.
I always felt that way about the golfing comics. I always felt bad when you go on the road and there's those guys who bring their clubs and it's 7 a.m. they're out after the Friday night shows. And I was like, should I be doing more? But geez.
No.
They're miserable.
Sleep. Imagine needing to fill the void of that comedy fills, and then you're only half empty. The tank's half empty that you got to shove golf on top of it. Golf.
I've gone scuba diving before off the back of like someone at the gig, because it was a gig in a place where and someone was like, "Hey, I'm a scuba diving instructor," and all right, I'll jump on this one.
But I went to Myrtle Beach. I did the week in Myrtle Beach, and that was great because that's like kind of a vacation. They do like one show a night, and then you can just go kart and go to the beach and like do wave runners and all that goofy shit during the day. And that's exciting. Like, I'm all for that because there's still plenty of like things to shove in your face and plenty of time to sit around.
I love a water park.
Yeah.
I've done that a couple of times. There was a West Edmonton
Nothing before
Mall.
7 a.m.
No, exactly. But like West Edmonton Mall, which is like a city in its own right,
sure.
is
You've done that park there?
Yeah, and there's a water park inside the mall.
With a wave pool.
We were on a tour. There was a very clear split between the comics where like half of them went to the gun range and half of them went to the water park, and it was very obvious who were the gun comics and who were the water slide comics.
I rode the roller coaster there. It was a good roller coaster.
Oh yeah, it's like it's like a mini city. I mean, like it's enough that they've got more than one of multiple shops.
It's actually kind of sad. There's a crime wave hitting it right now. A lot of violence in the West.
The east and the west end of the two different sides of the West Edmonton Mall.
Yeah, if you go to Lords and Foster and you're from Macy's, it can get really bad. It can be very, very ugly.
People walking around. Which store did you go to high school in?
Zumiez. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a pretty cool shop. Hey, other New York comics, are you guys starting to feel the hurricane weather?
Yeah. I've been hearing it outside my window.
Holy cow. Yeah.
Michael had lightning in his window and had no idea.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it.
If you scroll back like 25 minutes, you can see the lightning outside of your window.
Is that right? Yeah. And now I didn't realize it's pouring rain. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right, so you're just zooming through a natural disaster going on here while I'm just...
Yeah, I actually have to run in a few because I forgot to batten down the hatch.
Why did you get a place with so many hatches?
I don't know, and I've always said, and people know this if you know my act, I'm horrible at battening. I am really bad at battening.
Great at skiing, bad at battening.
Just another one of his side businesses.
All my hatches are just wide open. Not good.
Not good.
I slept through a 4.5 earthquake 3 nights ago.
Is 4.5 big?
4.5 is reasonable. You'll feel it unless you sleep through it, which I apparently did. And it was, the epicenter was a good 30 miles out from LA, but
it was the biggest in a decade, right?
It was, apparently. And it went on for, Holly was awake and looked over to see how I was doing, and I was out.
Do you guys have a dog?
We have a cat. Did
the cat react to the earthquake?
No idea. I was asleep.
How about that squirrel? The squirrel picture behind you, did that fall down?
No, I think everything stayed pretty much up.
It looks like it's about to fall down.
It does. It's
like half off.
You know what? It might be a little. It might have shifted over a little bit. There we go.
If it didn't shift over, and that's just how you keep your painting on top of your bookshelf, that's bonkers.
Yeah, I live life on the edge.
Literally.
Yeah. Just gotta keep things exciting during lockdown. Oh, I just saw a flash there behind Michael.
Yeah.
It's intense.
That's actually, he just has a Zoom background in, but there is a thunderstorm outside.
My new app.
Complete with fiance that just walks through occasionally.
Yeah, cue the fiance.
That'd be great if this is our new reality where we have to do this for the entire next year because Donald Trump. Then we should invent moving backgrounds where people can pretend that they're not alone.
Yeah.
Just people walking by through the background.
That you pretend to get annoyed at. You're like, get out of here.
Sorry, that's my supermodel wife. I told you she was real.
I asked her to put some clothes on. She ignores me all the time. Wait a second, why is there a pizza man here?
Yeah, it's just pornography. Oh boy. So, what's up? What else? What should we talk about?
I want to know what
the hurricane is kind of interesting.
I don't know anything about this hurricane. Is it big?
It's a hurricane.
You think it's one of those?
I think all of tomorrow is supposed to be like winds, thunder, lightning, heavy rains. I don't know. I don't know if we'll die.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'll be that big.
It's not.
We need Byron Allen.
Matt.
Yeah, we do. We need to turn on the Byron Allen channel.
Where's Byron when you need him? I think Matt's gonna be fine.
How many years before he's controlling the weather?
No kidding.
That'd be funny.
I got the weather's distribution rights.
It's just now he's just reporting on it, but there'll be a point.
What if you flew to LA and your manager got you a general with the Weather Channel?
So what's your experience of weather? You're just gonna pretend to be really into it?
I would be so psyched right now. I would practice and everything for that.
I would take any meeting.
I love the weather, you guys. Honestly, I've been watching it for so long. It's crazy.
It's like so unpredictable. You never know. Next day.
Yeah. Do you know the different kinds of things that are all weather? Like even no weather is weather. It's crazy, right?
Oh.
I would sell them a show where I would claim that I've never experienced any weather, because those videos where babies like get rained on for the first time, those always go viral. So I would just let them know that I've never been in any kind of weather. And so each episode is me experiencing a new kind of weather.
And then like season 2 will be you walking on grass and tasting ice cream for the first time. Sand.
Just walking around just shocked.
You just were raised in a basically a white room like that.
Yeah.
Like the girl from Blade Runner 2049. You just were in an air sealed room.
Exactly. Hermetically sealed.
I mean, I think you die immediately from any kind of bacteria, right?
Probably, unless someone came around and like spit in my mouth and then left.
But that could be a thing in itself. That could be like Ryan experiences bacteria for the first time.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot. Like if I was raised in a lab, I think things would have worked out a little better.
I think.
Yeah. Did you see Twins? Did you see Twins? The movie.
There's a call.
Yo, with Danny DeVito?
Yeah, they were raised. Well, Arnie was raised in a lab, and DeVito was discarded.
Yes. I watched that.
I apparently put the brakes on that bit really quickly.
I wonder if Byron Allen would pick up this show, not based on this episode.
I think we're doing just fine, fellas.
So Ryan, I heard that you I heard that you like the weather. Tell me about that.
I do like the weather, Andy. I have a lot of experience with the weather. There's been many times where I've been outside and I'll tell you this. One time when I was in college, you ever I was on drugs and I went outside with no shoes on, and because it was raining, and so I was just running barefoot through the rain because it's college and you're like trying all the everyone's drinking whatever else, but not everyone's drinking because it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something, and I just weirded out all the girls in my entire dorm
because you went out.
That's my whole story. Because I was like running out in the rain with and nobody talked to me for like a week.
It was your first time in the rain?
It felt like it, But you got to.
You were running around going, "What is this?" And people were like, "Okay, he's not coming to any more parties."
Sure. So let me see. Let me. You guys are all locked down with your fiancés and stuff. Are we going to you know what? I don't have a question. I was just trying to transition into something. I was like, it'll be on the end, but it wasn't.
It'll be there for me.
It'll be there for me. It's been too long since I've done comedy.
Here's a question. Do you guys think that the election will get postponed? Does that seem like
No. I think that whole thing was 100% to distract from the GDP being the lowest ever story that came out at the same time, and the media entirely fell for it like they do every time, and the Democrats entirely fell for it like they do every time. Like the story came out of some of the worst economic news that any president has ever been in charge of, and that's going to be the story. So they send Trump out to tweet something really inflammatory, and then a bunch of other prominent Republicans publicly condemn him. And everyone's like, oh, even the Republicans have turned on him. I'm like, no, they're just all still playing their part. They're all playing their part in this whole little show that they put on where they're like, oh, you don't do that. And then that's the whole story. And it completely dominates the news cycle and it squashes the other story. And that's 100% what's happening.
But we don't appreciate your cynicism. Why don't you mow your own lawn, all right?
Go roll some cheese.
Well, I gotta say, when Matt said that, this was like the first time where I was like, oh, that is what happens. So maybe I'm the problem.
They fall for it every time. Like one of the things in Michael Bolton's book was Michael Bolton. Is it Michael Bolton?
John.
John Bolton. Michael Bolton's the singer.
Michael Bolton does have a good book, though.
That's how long I've been in lockdown.
Yeah.
Remember when Michael Bolton was in the government?
Yeah.
Remember that? But but then he had to leave to do that Lonely Island special.
Yeah.
This is what quarantine has done to my brain. Michael Bolton was in the Lonely Island special, and that's why he had to leave the government when he was in charge. But yeah, the John Bolton book, one of the revelations in it was about the Trump putting out a statement semi-defending the Saudis for murdering the journalist was timed to distract from the story about Ivanka using a private email server. And that was, it's every time, and they fall for it every time. When there's something that's gonna look bad, he says something inflammatory, and then that's the news cycle for a day, and then it disappears.
I also want to say that, the Saudis are doing some good work, okay?
Right.
I don't know if you've driven a car recently, they're really knocking it out of the park with that whole oil thing. So
I forgot they invented oil.
Yeah.
Crushing it.
Also, no women drivers. I don't know. Can you imagine how smooth everything would run?
And the parking.
Yeah.
So I don't think to Andy's question, I don't think that they're going to postpone the thing. I think Matt's right. I think it was like a distraction, but also he's just it's all about his ego, and his numbers are down, so he's going to say things like that.
But Matt,
it is also to sow extra, it was serving two purposes. It is also to sow a little bit of extra confusion and mistrust of the election process. And just
do you think the post office thing is also a distraction?
No, sure. I think that angle is his new angle, and I think that's a real problem. He's, it's to delegitimize postal voting and try to reduce it. And
I actually feel kind of what's that called when you're split between it?
Torn?
Conflicted. Torn? Yeah, torn, because I hate the post office, but I do want an election. So I would like to, maybe we just cancel the post office the day after the election. I think those people are awful people and they don't deserve jobs, but I like democracy as well. So I'm very torn.
Did you have a personal experience with the post office?
Michael, are you Byron Allening me right now?
I'm vying for Ryan's job.
Well, wait, I wanted to know, do you have personal beef with the post office?
Well, I lived in Bed-Stuy for 2 years, and every single one of my packages got stolen. And every time I would call to report it, they would tell me, in not so nice terms, to go fuck myself. I mean, they'd just be like, "Yeah, we're the post office. You thought you could trust us, idiot."
Was it stolen by them?
No, it was just like they left it somewhere lazily, like they'd leave it on my stoop or something like that. One time, this was the saddest thing. It was like right when I moved back to New York, and I hadn't really found my footing. This is like 2018, and my mom had sent me a Easter present, and I kept on waiting for it. And then I found I was walking down the street, and I found a box. And I was like, wow, that really looks like my mom's handwriting. And then a couple of feet later, hard. And then a couple of feet later.
This is where the anger comes from. Here it is.
Yeah. So I'm just mad at my mom. And Easter. I hate the Easter bunny and Jesus's resurrection. So, but you guys don't know that is Easter. You guys know that is Rabbit Egg Day in Britain, right?
Yeah. It's
where you guys all.
Yeah, is the feast of fertility, and
you go out to the stones and
the rites of spring.
Yeah, you try to coax the stones into birthing a golem, right?
And we finish by burning the detective who was sent to investigate our island.
Oh man, get a Wicker Man reference in there. We went from Burning Man to Wicker Man.
We've done it. We've gone the whole circle.
Yeah.
So. I wish I knew more about the news. I haven't looked at the news or anything. I don't know about this hurricane. I barely know about this voting thing, post office thing, none of this stuff, because I've been doing all this weird domestic stuff this past few weeks, few days, whatever it's been.
You got to stop painting rooms, man. You're addicted. It's becoming
painting room was a big deal. Getting all these tickets that I had to clear up that shit today. I had to go to the mechanic guy. And then I was at a movie. I did a drive-in movie thing last night.
What did you see?
We saw Casino Royale, which apparently came out 14 years ago and made me feel very old.
A fun thing about that is to make that movie more palatable for Americans, they changed the game to Texas Hold'em. That's
what was it supposed to be?
I feel like Matt would know this. What would they play in Monaco?
I think it just used to be, in the original book, it was just a different version of poker. Like a sort of seven-card. Oh, it was Baccarat. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
And also, instead of drinking a martini, he drank a Michelob Ultra, which I thought was super tacky.
And Matt, why did they do that to distract us?
We're getting a real QAnon stuff. Sorry about this.
You're getting robbed.
Yeah, that's actually Rosebud's boyfriend. I don't know why I'm so casual, but
you are the father.
I'm not on the leash, so
gotta go with it. What's Baccarat?
I don't know. Matt, please.
It's another card gambling game.
We just defer to somebody with a British accent. I don't know this.
I mean, I'm not. Let's remember that of the four of us, I'm the only one so far who's got a member of the cabinet mixed up with an easy listening singer of the 80s. So
that's true. That is true.
Yeah. That was it was fun though,
It was fun. But also the accent has still excused that. You've still come off with a sort of vague veneer of intelligence, even though...
I even believe you went scuba diving.
Yeah.
Who's the other book that was supposed to come out?
Mary Trump. It's his
That's come out.
Who is she?
She's his niece.
The niece.
Yeah.
I see.
It obviously, it brought him down. So it's nice to see democracy as return.
I feel like Ryan just came out of a coma and we're getting him up to speed.
Yeah.
Dude, I missed all this. I'm telling you, I've just been lifting things and moving it around and then painting a room.
Wait, who's the president?
I mean, I really try not to remember. I really try not to. I've also learned that I don't have to read anything on Twitter. I can just post my whatever I want to post.
You don't pay any attention to news because of like anxiety or just?
Oh no, I pay attention to it most of the time. The past week, truly, it's only been a few days where I haven't looked at anything because I've just been doing other things and I've been so exhausted and I feel like I'm years behind.
I took a couple of news breaks recently and it felt nice.
I try, especially when I'm writing a lot, I try not to even look because it gets in my head.
Yeah, I just missed it. I just really haven't. It's only been a few days where I kind of didn't really pay attention. And also I feel like I consume a lot more of other people's opinions about stuff than I do any facts at all or any understanding of what it is, which maybe is it's just what we get now. I don't know. But I just haven't. I don't know what's going on. There's a hurricane, I guess.
Yeah.
It is hard to get just.
Yeah, it's actually happening right now, Ryan.
Is that right?
Yeah, this is the beginning of it.
Well, I live in a windowless room.
You got to paint a window in that room, yeah.
Yeah, I should paint a window.
You just paint it like a children's book, imagination kind of thing. You paint a window, you open it, you go out into the world, you realize you've been dosed. So,
yeah.
Brian.
What's that? Someone say something? Oh, we're going to wrap up. Yep, we're wrapping up, folks. We got to wrap up. We've got too much fun going on. Does anybody want to plug anything? Does anybody want to say things that they're doing? I built a spice rack. Everyone can see it at I am Ryan Beck on Instagram or Twitter.
I'd like to plug Ryan's Instagram. I have a great time following your stuff, man. I really do.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
I want to
appreciate
plug
that.
Matt's Instagram, actually. Matt Kirshen.
Thank you.
Kirshen. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I don't really use Instagram, so I'm gonna plug Andy's. And
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's great.
Somebody needs to plug Somerville's, so we kind of complete.
oh yeah, no, I don't know, because he's more like just liking Ryan's stuff.
No, he's got a great Instagram.
I
Michael
just
has a new
retweet
show.
Ryan's.
Michael's actually huge on TikTok. That's his medium.
He's good at these little dances that you do.
Yeah.
Short
He was
form.
one of the first comics to parody the Savage dance. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I keep telling people I was serious. It wasn't a parody.
Oh,
Michael,
my
Michael,
bad.
I'm
sorry.
you do have a new show thing though, right? You're doing a new show.
Yeah, I started doing a talk show, putting it on Instagram and Facebook and everything. So yeah, just follow me, Michael Somerville, on Instagram.
Oh,
There
nice.
you go. There you go.
Can I plug my podcast? It's called Probably Science.
No. Oh, sorry. Yes. Probably Science.
That's it. You can find it in all the podcast places.
That's great. That's great. I got a podcast. You want to hear what mine is?
I would like that.
Great. Well, my podcast is called Falling in Love with My Wife, where my wife and I see if we can what happens if we're going to ruin our relationship or not in quarantine. So
That's
we're
great.
going through the New York Times 36 questions that lead to love one by one, and
That's
we're
awesome.
seeing if getting to know each other better is going to be detrimental to our relationship. So
Right.
that's been kind of fun.
I have a podcast, but it's actually an OnlyFans, and it's just me and Rosebud. So, anyways, you guys can.
That's how the
check it
baby
out.
came.
Do you talk about the news and stuff? What is it like?
You could say it was a kind of news. There's a kind of
Yeah.
news.
No, it's really good. I follow it. It's really.
Under the fake name.
You got to quit liking everything, Mike.
I can't help it.
Got to quit sharing it, please. Our family follows you.
Well, boys, it was a wonderful time to talk to you tonight. I'm sorry I was a little sleepy and just falling. I'm spiraling, so we got to shut this down. Thank you. This is the Comedy Cellar Nightly, and good night, everybody.
Thanks
Good
for doing
night.
that.